also. So I'm not going to hold up this spot too much. But please, not only for the AUF, but for the sake of yourselves and your future generations, we need to get back a government that cares. We need to get back in office people with ethics. We need to put back in office people who are prepared to lead, not mislead. We need to do away with the maliciousness and the lies that petty politicians, that's all they have. No ideas, no vision, lies, maligning, misleading. And I dare say that on this podium. And anyone can come and challenge me on that. Because my record speaks for itself. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the time. I appreciate it. I look forward to representing all of Anguilla. I look forward to unifying this country. I look forward to taking this country into the future. And in order to do that, we would want the support of each and every one of you for every member of the AUF team. We don't promise to care, we care. And that is what our calling card is. No pretense, no illusions, no lies, no maligning, no pettiness, no juvenile delinquents in the AUF. Grown folk prepared to take care of grown folk business. Everybody have a good night. Thank you very much for your time. Be passionate about Anguilla.
I wasn't going to say nothing because I know what some of all you gonna say. But I can't stand by any longer and watch my country go in this way. The affairs of the state in chaos, causing citizens too much pain. So to hell with who vex and whatever come next, I ain't staying quiet.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carty. And before we continue, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of former Premier, Mr. Banks. Good night, Mr. Banks. Thanks for your service to Anguilla. People of District 7, you have got it right for 10 years. 10 years you got it right. And I know in the next coming election, you won't get it wrong. You will get it right again. I will say to you, my grandmother always said, if something is not broke, don't fix it. So you have a representative, Mr. Cardigan Connor, who's always here, and he always cares. Unlike your friendly people at APM who don't care about nobody but themselves. So ladies and gentlemen, people of Anguilla, you can make this change. You can get back Anguilla for the Anguillans. You can be Anguilla first, not Anguilla last. Your businesses can be protected if you support the AUF. So make sure that you make the correct choice in electing all 11 candidates of the Anguilla United Front. And I say that with no bones. All 11. 11 is not too much. If we could get 12, we'll take the 12 too. So our next speaker is of the island-wide candidate, Mr. Jason Bryan. Welcome, Jason Bryan, to the platform.
No, this land is yours, but it's mine also. And the future lies in our hands. I want you to know.
Good evening. Good evening. Let me hear those horns. Blow them. Good evening, my fellow Anguillians. people listening via social media, and the diaspora. Buenas noches a todos los presentes, a las personas escuchando vía redes sociales y a la diáspora. Special good evening to my people of District 7, the district that saw me grow. Tonight, I stand before you not just as a voice of the Anguilla United Front, but as someone who, like every single one of you, cares deeply about the future of our youth, our athletes, and the people of Anguilla. We are here to talk about what matters most, our people, and Mr. Cardigan Kana, your best choice in District 7. We must face the hard truth that what the current government has done or has failed to do is to protect the interest of the people of Anguilla. Youth is the heartbeat of our nation, the dreamers who will shape Anguilla tomorrow. But instead, this government, instead of equipping them, this government has kept them vulnerable. Youth unemployment is very high, leaving too many of our young people without jobs, without hope, and for some, without a path to go forward. For almost 5 years, we've seen more promises than progress. How many job creation programs have we seen? How many entrepreneurial initiatives have been truly founded? Words don't feed families. And words don't inspire. When it comes to education, the story is no better. The very system meant to prepare our youth for success is outdated and underfunded. Critical thinking is stifled. Vocational training, so vital to many of our young people, has not been adequately prioritized. What kind of future are we building for our youth? And then there's sports. Sports is more than just games. They are avenues for discipline, teamwork, and pride. But under this government, sports have been treated as a second thought. We still lack of proper facilities. Our young athletes struggle to train, let alone to compete in the international atmosphere. Promises of better infrastructure have been delayed years after years. How many international competitions could we have hosted by now? How many talented young athletes have we failed because they didn't have the resources to go further? The government lack of action is not just neglect. It's a betrayal to our youth. It's a betrayal to the dreamers that would like to succeed tomorrow. It's a betrayal to the people of Anguilla looking to build a stronger and prouder Anguilla. But District 7, you have an option, and it's the best option in District 7. It's to continue with Mr. Cardigan Kana, representing a district filled with people of love, peace, and care. But not as opposition. We need him as part of the government to be able to continue delivering and putting the people of Anguilla first. We can look at his record in tourism. My first time learning to play cricket was thanks to Mr. Cardigan Kana, who decided that he would support the young boys. Mr. Connor is a man of community. So when you hear them ask, where's Mr. Connor? I would like you to respond to them boldly. He is with his people in District 7. My people, we need to provide our youth with the resources for them to succeed in this modern, changing world. We need to prioritize our education system. We need to build modern sports facilities to attract more sports development. We need to create interconnected community hubs. But let's be clear, none of this will happen under this current government. They've had almost 5 years, and what have they done? Where are the results? They have proven time and again that they lack the vision, the will, and the urgency to deliver for the people of Anguilla. This government is content with empty promises and delayed actions, while our youth lose faith and our athletes lose opportunities. We cannot afford another 5 years. We cannot afford another 5 years of broken promises. We don't want any more promises. We want people willing to work for the success of the people of Anguilla. The AUF is the only team that will put the people of Anguilla first. And tonight, I ask for your vote for the entire team of the Anguilla United Front. Vote for a better Anguilla. Vote for putting people first. And don't just vote for 1 or 2 of our candidates. Vote for all 11 AUF candidates. Because we are stronger together. And together, we will deliver for the people of Anguilla. So when you go to the polls, think about the child who dreams of becoming a doctor or an engineer. Think about the young football player who dreams of representing Anguilla on the world stage. Think about the kind of Anguilla you want to leave for the next generation. We have a choice to continue down a path of neglect or to build a future of opportunity. The AUF is ready to build that future for everyone. Are you ready to join us? My people of Anguilla, are you ready to join the team of the Anguilla United Front to build a future of opportunities? And as everyone may know, I represent more than one community. My people of Anguilla, I also represent the Spanish community, and I would like to address them in the language. Mis compatriotas, tengo un gozo interno y externo, porque ya los bisnietos no necesitan contrato de trabajo. Primero, les quiero dar las gracias a Dios. Segundo, a la líder y primera mujer, la primera próxima mujer premier de Anguilla, la señora Miss Cora Richardson Hodge. Por haber pensado no solo en los nietos, sino también en los bisnietos en el momento de modificar la Constitución de Anguilla. Sabemos que debido a que el AUF perdió las elecciones en el 2020, la señora Cora Richardson Hodge no pudo completar el proceso de los bisnietos. Pero tenemos claro que hay un récord de que ella fue quien inició este proceso y les agradecemos. También vamos a agradecer al ministro actual por un largo tiempo de espera, pero cercano a las elecciones, terminó un proceso que ya se había iniciado, dándole a los bisnietos una estadía más sostenible. Con eso me siento feliz y seguiremos trabajando y siendo esa voz de lucha para que mejores cosas se logren. Dominicanos y dominicanas, la juventud es el latido de nuestra nación. Los soñadores que darán forma a Anguilla en el día de mañana. Pero en lugar de empoderarlos, Este gobierno los ha dejado vulnerables. El desempleo juvenil es alto, dejando a demasiados jóvenes sin empleo, sin esperanza y para algunos sin un camino a seguir. Durante casi 5 años hemos visto más promesa que avance. ¿Cuántos programas de creación de empleo hemos visto? ¿Cuántas iniciativas empresariales han sido financiadas realmente? Las palabras no alimentan a las familias y las palabras no inspiran sueños. Y luego está el deporte. El deporte es algo más que un juego. Es una vía para la disciplina, el equipo en trabajo y el orgullo. Pero bajo este gobierno, el deporte se ha tratado como algo secundario. Seguimos careciendo de instalaciones adecuadas. Nuestros jóvenes atletas tienen dificultades para entrenar, por no hablar de competir a nivel internacional. Las promesas de mejorar las infraestructuras se han retrasado año tras año. ¿Cuántas competiciones internacionales podríamos haber organizado ya? ¿A cuántos jóvenes atletas de talentos hemos fallado porque no tenían los recursos para llegar más lejos? La falta de acción de este gobierno no solo es negligencia, es una traición a nuestra juventud. Es una traición a nuestros sueños de una Anguilla más fuerte y orgullosa. Dominicanos votantes en el Distrito 7, dígase Long Bay, Mix Bay, El Cove, West End, ustedes tienen la mejor opción y es votar por Cardigan Cano. Un hombre que ha sido cercano y participativo en la comunidad. Su récord en turismo es solo una muestra de los grandes cambios que ha hecho y que ha de seguir realizando. Su aporte al deporte de manera voluntaria demuestra su compromiso con la comunidad. Mis compatriotas, esta noche yo les pido su voto por Cardigan Cano en el Distrito 7 y también por nosotros los candidatos nacionales. Por nombre, Joseph Vanterpool, Kyle Hodge y este servidor, Jason José Bryan. Cuando vayan a votar, voten por nuestro candidato en el distrito y nuestros 4 candidatos a nivel nacional. Vota por el AUF, el Faro. Vota por una mejor Anguilla. Vota por poner a las personas primero. Vota porque las personas necesitan que lo tomen en cuenta, no solamente las infraestructuras. Necesitamos tus 5 votos porque juntos somos más fuertes. Así que cuando vayan a votar, piensa en tu hijo que sueña con ser médico o ingeniero. Piensa en el joven futbolista o beisbolista que quiere ser o representar a Anguilla en la escena internacional. Piensa en el tipo de Anguilla que les quieres dejar a la próxima generación. Tenemos una elección, seguir por el camino del abandono o construir un futuro de oportunidad. El AUF, Anguilla United Front, está dispuesto a crear un futuro de oportunidad. Ahora yo les pregunto, ¿están ustedes listos para acompañarnos en ese futuro de oportunidad? Muchas gracias a todos. Thank you to all my people of Anguilla. Together, let's take our island forward. Vote AUF because together Anguilla deserves better. Thank you.
Government that we put in charge, incompetence is creating problem. I say down with them, don't hesitate, down with them, no time to wait.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bryan. District 7, Anguilla. I want to give you a little story. It wouldn't be too long. Tell me, what have the APM government did that wasn't in chaos? Every single thing this administration touch turns into chaos. And I'll name a few. And the most recent one is the fish processing plant. We have Anguilla, PPA story.
And candidate, the Honorable Cardigan Connor. You can't afford to miss it.
Champion, me a real champion. Champion, me a real champion. Champion, me a real champion. Don't vex if your name not call. Me have to leave everybody some ball. Champion, champion.
The Anguilla United Front proudly presents a massive launch and rally for their District 7 West End candidate, Mr. Cardigan Connor. It goes down on Saturday, January 18, on the grounds of the Alwyn Allison Richardson Primary School West End from 7:30 p.m. Come and see Cardi renew his commitment to the people and address the burning issues impacting our country today. The entire team AUF 2025 will be on hand for this grand occasion. See you on Saturday, January 18, 2025, 7:30 p.m. at the Alwyn Richardson Primary School West End. That's with the Anguilla United Front, AUF. Breathe.
Nepotism is running rampant, going against all decency and laws. Where's the spiritual and moral values?
Sorry about that. But we'll continue. So I was saying before, every single thing they put their hands on, it have a problem. Carnival, problem. Boat racing, problem. AI, problem. Social Security, problem. Fish processing plant, more problems. So one thing we can say is very consistent about the APM. They only know chaos. And then they will come back trying to fix it after the chaos have escalated to a height where they can't take it. And the history shows, for 4.5 years, every week, something goes wrong. GST, which was supposed to be a bad, destructive tax, like Yellow Dad, today is the best tax. Very, very amazing bunch of government ministers. But tonight, you have behind me a very good team, a people caring team, some people who won't disrespect you as much as this APM government disrespect you. Overseas voters was called tourist voters. But I'm welcoming every single Anguillian overseas. Once your name is on the voters list, fly in, come by plane, come by boat, make sure you're an Anguilla. So you can show the Premier that the tourist votes will count in 2025. And Anguilla will be restored in good hands. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is none other than, I call him Mr. AI, because he have all the knowledge in that area. But they would not come to him. That's our man. We will fix the AI problem when we come to power. So none other, the next speaker, Mr. Honorable Jose Vanterpool.
District 7. Good evening, West End. Good evening to all Anguillians who took the time out to come and join us in a time of celebration as we launch our candidate this evening, as well as to all of those who are joining us virtually or via the radio.
Thank you.
Now, I know it's been a long time since we had a public meeting in West End. We would have had some town halls. We'd have had some community walkthroughs. But with that being said, it feels even more fitting and good to start off the new year by joining you, the West End community, to start off our political campaign for the 2025 year.
Thank you.
The reason that we are here this evening is to launch a candidate who is no stranger to any of you. In fact, he's your current representative, and we are sure that following the next general election, he will be returning as your next representative, the Honorable Mr. Cardigan Connor. So I really enjoyed the Christmas period, the festive season, and most of all, the break from politics that tend to come with it. But now that we're in the new year and politics is fresh in the air, you know that we're about to jump into the heart of what is known as our silly season. And we have already seen it, the misinformation, the disinformation, the videos of Trump and Obama getting involved in Anguilla's politics. And in everything that kept on being said, I know some other speakers addressed it already. But the thing that ultimately puzzled me is, the best them got to say about Cardi is, where's Cardi? That's the best you got to say about Cardigan? Anybody who knows Cardi knows the answer to that question. Cardi is in his community. Cardi is in his district. Cardi is with his people. So the fact that you could even go out there and say, where's Cardi? First of all, that's telling me that you ain't got nothing bad to say about the man, because if that's all you could come up with, you ain't had nothing. Second of all, it shows me, because the people who are asking those questions weren't people from this district. In fact, it's people who know better but want to cause a little bit of mischief. But if they genuinely wanted to know where Cardigan is, that shows you that they're not in this district. They're not with these people, because had they take a drive through these streets any time of day or night, they will find Cardigan with his people in his community. So, while I won't get into conversations, for example, between Shelia and Cardi, when they're discussing who represents the best district, and for the record, I would like to believe that I, myself, Kyle, and Jason are the ones who represent the best districts. Somebody, Mr. Chair, this is yours? 1 second. As I was saying, well, I personally am of the belief that me, Kyle, and Jason, we represent the better district. I would let Cardi and Shelia have that out. But with that being said, though, District 7, the West End community, is a community that is very near and dear to my heart, one that is quite special to me for personal reasons that I will get on to sharing. Over the years, one thing that I have learned in life is, one, each experience is there to teach you something and for you to grow. Another thing that I've learned is to never say never. Because the things that you often say you're gonna never do are usually the things that end up happening to you. I remember, for example, saying that, I don't know how my teachers would do it. I would never get involved in teaching. Just a couple years ago, I ended up adopting a third farm class and teaching a class of over 22 students for a year. And while that's only a glimpse into what teachers do, we got to take our hats off to them. But again, I said I would never do it, and I ended up there. I remember having a conversation some time ago with a very close cousin of mine while I was in university. And he said, cuz, one of these days, you know you're going to come back here and run in politics? You're going to be one of the people that run the country. I said, I know that's going to never happen because I can't see myself in politics. And, well, I don't think I need to say anything else. I've been here in 2020, and along with the support of you and the people throughout the island, I trust to be here for much longer with your vote and your support. But just like these two, the other thing that I always said that I would not get involved in was tourism. I know that coming out of high school, the students, we rush to go to the tourism sector often because those are the only jobs available. I tell myself, nah, I ain't getting involved in that. Went to university, come back. Where do I get my first job? Right up the road in Malihana. Through that experience, my first few years out of university, even though I didn't think I would get involved in tourism, I was very grateful for those years. In those times at Malihana, I actually spent more time in this district, in this village, and in this community than I did at home. Not only limited to the experiences at Malihana, but the other tourism offerings around the district. We know that Anguilla is a tourism-based economy, and we are currently in the tourism capital of the island. That's something I'm going to give to you, Cardi. So with that being said, the experience at the hotel within the industry not only grew me as a person, but it exposed me to the lifeblood of a lot of the people, not only in this district, of throughout Anguilla. It showed me that while people are willing to jump on flights and spend thousands upon thousands of dollars just to have a week or short vacation in Anguilla, where we are blessed to live, that it is our people who they make the difference for them. It is our people who walk in this industry, who give it their life and their soul, that have people coming back to Anguilla. So to you, the people of West End, to you, the people in the industry, to everyone who works hard to make Anguilla the destination that it is, I want to say thank you, because Anguilla is nothing without you, the people. While I would have learned a lot, I would have also been exposed to some of the challenges that our people within the lifeblood of our economy face. To think that persons are not working one, but two shifts, whether at the same hotel or across different properties, in order to make ends meet. To think that these people, while they are living in paradise, are not experiencing paradise the same way that our visitors who come to our shows do. And this is why going into the next election, it is going to be absolutely critical that you, the people, elect not only individual persons, but a party that believes in putting people first. And I could give a lot of examples as to how this government so far has not demonstrated that they are willing to put the people first. So take, for example, we know that going into the last election, the current administration overwhelmingly would have received support because they promised no GST. But as you heard before, next thing you know, today them saying GST is the best thing since sliced bread. I remember recalling the premier saying that the country is doing better because their administration had the heart to enact GST. My God, how you get the heart to lie to the people of Anguilla like that? At the end of the day, there are a few things that I want to point out. The Anguilla United Front, after looking at the impacts of GST over the past few years, would have put forward a GST relief plan. This plan wasn't even considered by the government. They shot it down. They called it disgusting. They put civil servants out there to do their bidding to say that it can't work. But now that we're seeing, just a couple weeks ago, we get called to the House of Assembly to take GST off of food. But how come when them say that our plan was trash, they didn't say, but oh, that's a good idea? What about the other things within our plan that we wanted to offer true relief to the people of Anguilla? Talking about removing GST off of retail sector. That's your hardware. That's for any young person, old person who wants to build a property to participate in our tourism product, or the young Anguillian who wants to have the Anguillian dream of just owning a piece of the rock. Can you afford to do so? For every $100,000 that you have to spend building your house, $11,500 of that money goes straight to the government coffers in GST tax. That means that could have gone to wire, to blocks, to concrete, or to paint. But no, the government needs their cut. But at the end of the day, they're going to give it back to you at a $500 EC credit when Christmas time come around. If this government truly believed in putting people first, instead of fighting with Anglic over the years, they would have supported Anglic's plan for a shift to renewable energy. Because let me tell you, that plan, not only viable, that plan represented true relief for the people of Anguilla. But they're going to go on the government press conferences and tell you, don't listen to people's opinion, we only listen to the experts. Despite CDB getting WSP, an independent company from the UK, to come in and examine Anglic's plan, where they prove that Anglic's plan is the best way forward. But what's this government's rationale as to why we should go with them and their PPA? Because they know better. Apparently, They only listen to the experts when it's convenient to them. Anglec came out and showed us their plan. What has this government came out and done? In fact, going back to GST, I shouldn't even be surprised that they're not willing to take on plans properly. Because when they campaigned no GST, it was evident that they had no plan in the first place. The premier went on radio with Keystone Greaves and assured the people of Anguilla that he spoke to Baroness Shuggs, the head of the FCDO at the time, who said that Anguilla did not have its hands tied. We did not have to implement GST as long as government could find a viable alternative to that plan. But they get elected and they say, you know what, Mr. Banks, tie our hands. Jeez. Going on further, when we look at the impacts of GST and the cost of living, another thing that struck me from the hotel sector is while the people who are coming to Anguilla to experience our tourism product are coming for our people, how many of our people are actually rising to the jobs of senior management, of general management, those top positions that actually represent the people of Anguilla? One thing that I often found is when you go to those hotels, it is the locals who have been there for decades, who can run circles, who understand the operation, who understand our culture, the people, and why our guests come to our shows, who have our properties being successful. But when it comes to who is being paid and how much money stays in the hands of the locals, compared to how much of it goes overseas and never even touches our local economy, what do we say then? The reason that that concerns me is because this government seems to have adopted that mind frame, that Anguillians aren't good enough to be able to be running these industries. And that's not me saying that it's this government's fault, while our persons in tourism are not in the top level jobs. It is because government ministers themselves have gone on record and said our utilities like Anglec cannot be managed by anybody locally. I guess that's why they fired the CEO without cause. The people of Anguilla